Okay, so let's take a look at the data table, which we had looked at on Thursday. And we started out initially doing a goal seek, and we found out the purchase price for a home was about $200,000 if we could only afford monthly payments of $1,200, and we did that using goal seek. But I had mentioned that if we wanted to see how much the monthly payments, and total interest would be, varying the amount of interest, okay, what the interest rate would be, we'd have to type in 7% here, see the answer. Have to type in 7.25 here, see the answer. Have to type in 750 here, type the answer, so on and so forth. So we can get those answers really quickly by using a data table. And in this case, it's called a one input data table, meaning it's only going to be asking for one piece of input, and you're going to be getting multiple outputs. So the one input we're asking for it to substitute is the interest rate. And we'd like to see the monthly payments, and total interest for the answers with these interest rates. So in order to do that, you set up your columns with the actual formula that you're looking for each of those items. So for monthly payments, we're looking for, in this case, C11, which is the monthly payment. The total payments is C12, which is in this cell, and the total interest is C13, which is this cell. And I had mentioned that even though we're referring to the cell, I have the text here, which is displaying rather than the actual value, because it looks nicer, it's cleaner, it just makes more sense. And in order to do that, you simply go to Format, and we did a custom format. And we put in quotes the name of the heading we want, and we did that for monthly payments. We did that for total payments and total interest. So now that we have our formulas up here, we have to select the table. So we select the table. We go to What If Analysis. We go to Data Table. And I said it's a one input data table, so it's looking for one piece of information. If you notice, we have our interest rate in columns. So if the input is in columns, we're going to be putting it here. Only one thing, it's a one input, multiple outputs. So the input for the column is the interest rate. So I simply go to my area which has all the formulas, and I select the cell that has the interest rate, and I click OK. Once I've done that, it actually then gives me the results of every single monthly payment, and total interest for each of these interest rates. So just as a check, for 8.25, which is what we have here, it's telling me that my monthly payments would be $1,200. It is. My total payments, it is. And my total interest, which it is. So that's a little bit of a check that it works. And now I can see at 7%, 7.25, 9.25, all of these answers that I would have had to done if I put in each of these, varying one by one. So it did it for me in one shot. And the way it does it is it's simply, if you look at any cell that has an answer, it is simply substituting in the entire table, which has these formulas, okay, and knows that this is the cell that's varying in the table, and it produces this answer. So all it's varying is the actual interest rate in C7, and it's giving me the results. Okay, so that's the one input data table. There is a two input data table, which, as you probably realize, it accepts two inputs and will produce one output. So it's a little different. So here I have term in months. Here I have the interest rate. What you need here is a formula, the formula which you'd like to show the one answer you're looking for. The one answer I'm looking for is my total payments for the months, my monthly payment. So if I have 8.25 and I'm looking at 120, what's my answer? 8.25%, 240, what's my answer? 8.25, 360 months, what's my answer? So what we need to do here is we need to select the table. We go to What If Analysis Data Table, and it's two input, which means we need to put in two pieces of information here. The row going across is the months. So I'm going to go here and look for the months, and that's that. My column, again, is the interest rate. So I click in the column, and my interest rate is that. The one thing that I have here is the actual formula for the payment. This is the PMT function, the formula for my monthly payment, $1,200. This $1,200 is referring to this cell here. So when I click OK, it gives me the results of every single payment, monthly payment, at these interest rates. So again, 8 1/4 is telling me that for 360 months, my monthly payment is going to be $1,200, which it is. But if I took out a loan for 240 months, 20 years, or 10 years, how much would I have to pay a month? Again, 2 input data table. The one thing you have to give the formula for is the monthly payment, which is C11. There it is. And all of my answers are here. The one thing I don't like is this 1200. It doesn't really look too nice here. So once again, you can use a custom format if you like to tell it that it is a formula that's showing payments, monthly payment. Or if you right click on it, go to Format Cells, go to Custom, and in Custom, if you put in 3 semicolons and click OK, it hides the cell. So you can either use a custom format to show some text, or you can actually hide it and there's nothing here. So that's really another use of a custom format. So again, data tables, we have 2 types, 1 input, 2 input. 1 input basically is just the interest rate, multiple outputs. A 2 input data table is 2 inputs and only 1 output. Okay, so this goes under data tables and sensitivity analysis, showing how varying interest rates will affect your monthly payment and how interest rates will affect your monthly payment, total payments, and total interest. Okay, so I hope this helps you understand a little bit more about data tables.